buried for thousands of years. Strange faces they stare at you from the ground. Eyes wide like them see wetin fit change history. Mouth sealed like them carry deadly secrets. Archaeologists dig am out, and the world shock. Sculptures wey no suppose even dey exist, at least not at the time they were made, especially from the people wey no suppose sabi am yet. The Nok Civilization in West Africa, a name most of the world never learned. But what archaeologists found here rewrote everything we thought we knew about ancient African civilizations. How did a people who no one remembered create iron tools centuries before Europe's industrial age? Why them just disappear, leaving only mysterious terracotta statues wey dey scattered across Nigeria? Stay with me. By the time we reach the end, you will see how lost African civilizations still shape the world you live in today, in ways no one ever told you. We dey scroll through social media every day, they see debates about Africa's history, Black African stories, and who really built first cities and empires. But the Nok, a culture with art as detailed as anything in Greece or China, nobody dey talk about them. But that's where we come in, because today we go dig their story. No be for only historians o, but na for anybody wey dey wonder. What else them don't lie to us about where real greatness starts? If you grew up in most schools, them go dey teach say Africa's story start like this: slavery, colonization, maybe pyramids for Egypt, but not much else. Them paint Africa as late starter, society where advanced societies barely existed before outsiders waka come. But you see this picture, it was drawn with missing pieces. Let's rewind, not a few hundred years, but over 2,500 years into the past. Modern-day Nigeria, rolling savannas, fertile land, iron-rich soil. Archaeologists digging for tin in the 1940s near a place called Nok found something very strange. A head. No be human skull o, na terracotta head, beautifully carved. Eyes shaped like almond. Hair dey decorative. Even jewelry wey dey flash. Dating methods later revealed the shocking truths. These artifacts were over 2,000 years old, some reaching back to 1,500 BCE. This means say, while ancient Greece been dey form city-states, Nok don dey shape clay, dey melt iron, dey farm and trade already. And these were not random villages. Evidence suggests a network, settlements spread across West African early civilizations, connected by trade in iron, beads, and even possibly ivory. But here's where it gets stranger. Despite the skill of their iron tools and African artifacts that rival anything in the ancient world, the Nok left no written record, no kings carved in stone, no epic text, just art, silent, powerful, and haunting. This is where history turns quietly explosive. Because iron, not gold, not diamonds, but iron is what powers societies. And the Nok were among the first south of the Sahara to figure it out. Their technology lets them farm well, hunt more effectively, and defend their land. It sparked a wave of innovation will later affect African empire history, from the Yoruba city-states reach Benin Kingdom. And yet, their name just vanished comot. For centuries, people walked over Nok soil with no idea of the genius beneath their feet. So it's still dey wey dey shock scholars today. Some of these iron artifacts date so early they challenge timelines. They suggest that Africa was not just learning from elsewhere, it was innovating first. And yet, colonization, looting, and neglect mean many Nok sites were destroyed before them fit study am proper. Priceless terracottas ended up in black markets, their stories lost with them. This is not just a mystery, it's a robbery of memory. Think about it. People wey master metal, they shape mad art, build communities where they run well, and then silence. Wetin e mean when civilization wey dey advanced like this fit disappear from human memory for 1,000 years? If you dey enjoy this video, abeg click the like button. E go help more people find these untold stories. Now, before we dive deeper, imagine this. Some of the Nok terracotta heads show expressions that look almost alive. Abi na real people dem dey depict? Leaders, mystics, or something even stranger? We go yarn all that, plus how their legacy still dey touch African history documentaries, Nigerian history, and modern art today. The Nok people thrived for over a millennium. Then, they vanished. Archaeologists still dey piece the koko together while them just vanish. One suggested reason is environmental shifts. Evidence shows that climate in parts of West Africa may have dried, forcing communities to migrate. Resource depletion. Iron smelting requires wood. Deforestation could have made local production unsustainable. Conflict or assimilation. Some suggest smaller Nok communities merged with emerging West African early civilizations. Their culture absorbed and transformed. However, the truth remains elusive. The terracotta statues are the silent witnesses, frozen in shock, as if asking, why did we disappear? Even though the Nok vanished, their skills and inventions never kpai. Their iron technologies fit don influence Yoruba city-states and Benin Kingdom, which also excelled in metallurgy. Art wey dem do too nko. The art wey dem do still dey echo for later African sculptures, masks, and ceremony figures. Some scholars talk say na Nok lay foundation for African empire history centuries later. In other words, while history tried to erase them, their genius rippled forward in tools, trade, and art. Fast forward to today. Many Nok sites were destroyed during colonial era evacuations. Looted artifacts appear in private collections and museums worldwide, far from Nigeria. To preserve them dey difficult. Terracottas dey fragile. Some dey crumble into dust. But hope still dey. Recent excavations and studies by Nigerian universities and international archaeologists dey uncover African untold stories small. Some newly discovered Nok sites hint at a network of settlements far larger than previously thought. Could there be cities yet to be uncovered? Consider this. The Nok were creating iron tools while parts of Europe were still in the Bronze Age. Yes, iron smelting Africa centuries ahead, yet textbooks rarely mention it. Their story dey challenge everything they don't tell us about where civilization advanced first. No be history only. Na proof say Africa sabi innovate, dem dey artistic, dem dey resilient. Now pause for a moment. How many stories have been lost, ignored, or buried simply because the world refused to look? Nok dey remind us say brilliance fit dey exist quietly. Dey wait for person wey dey curious enough to uncover it. And no be history only. Na about pride, identity, reclaiming your own tori. The lost secret of the Nok civilization for West Africa dey teach us say greatness fit dey where we no dey expect am. Knowledge and art fit survive even when people kpai. By studying these civilizations, we honor the ingenuity of forgotten African heroes and the deep roots of African culture and history. The world needs to see these stories, no be for only curiosity, but to reframe how we dey think about civilization itself. If the Nok story amaze you, no stop here o. Click next video wey dey on your screen. Why Africa, the best place of civilization, was erased. Dive deeper, Keep exploring and help these African untold stories reach the audience they deserve. And remember, if this video open your eye, abeg drop comments, share your favorite African historical facts, hit the like button, subscribe for more ancient African civilization stories.